Okay guys, just before this video starts, I was talking to Wheat Waffles the other day and we're going to do potentially, I don't think you'll mind me mentioning this, it might not happen, I assume it will, but it might not, I'm just, saying that just in case. We were talking about doing a documentary together for the stream platform. He'd be the perfect host for what I'm trying to do. And the genius that he is, he came up with the idea, if you're doing the donations, why aren't people getting something in return? And I was like, yeah, fucking good point. I just couldn't really think of anything. And I was saying about I do a lifetime membership on my stream platform. It's going to, once it goes live, that was going to be an option. He was like, why don't you just offer people that now? I was like, yeah, fuck, good point. So my promise to you guys is, see, the lifetime membership was going to be £100. Okay, you pay 100 quid and you get the stream platform basically forever without having to pay anything else. Now, anybody who's already paid £100 or above, you have access to that. Now, anybody £50 or above, I'm also going to just here we go. I've got to explain this properly. Anybody who's already paid £50 or above, I'm gonna classify you as having the lifetime membership. Reason being, if you've already given 50 or 60, I'm sure you would have given the extra, 50, 40 pounds to get to 100 if you had known that was an offer. So that's an apology from me. Anybody who's already donated 50 or more will be getting a lifetime membership. From this point onwards, it has to be £100 or more to get a lifetime membership, okay? And like the way I look at it, year one, you might be like, hey, it was probably worth £100. Year two, year three, year four, year five, year six, you're watching live sports for free, basically. You've got all these shows for free. Imagine now you had like Netflix, Prime, BT Sport, DAZN. You had all of these things and you only ever paid £100 like 5 years ago. And you're getting all of their shows, everything that's on there, you're getting that now basically for free. That's what it's going to be like. So anybody who donates from this point onwards, I've spoken about the people from prior, but anybody from this point onwards who donates £100 or more, you get a lifetime membership. And my team, I spoke to them, they can take care of all of that. Once they've got your email, they can set you up on an account. They can say lifetime access, and they'll just send you an email. You just do your password, whatever, and you sign in. So you'll get that once the platform goes live. Okay, but we'll be taking care of all of that behind the scenes. So £100 or more, whatever you want to do, but £100, you get a lifetime membership. So a one-off fee, you never have to pay again. And if it's going to be $7.99, so it's going to be like basically in a year, and it's paid for. Okay, so instead of, once you get to the 1 year point, you've now got the platform for free, basically. So that's what we're offering, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be stealing a Jordan Peterson concept, which I haven't done many times, which is crazy because he's got so many good ideas. But I saw him talking about recently the devouring mother, and it just struck a chord with me. There's so many people that I know that are in this situation. And I've often said to you guys, you can't really become a real man or your own man until you've got your own place. You're independent. You're not relying on mum and dad for finances. You're not living at their place. So you've got to do everything yourself. You go to work in the morning, you come back, and all the washing up that you left there is still there. The laundry that you put in the wash that you forgot to do is still there. You've got no clothes to wear tonight. And your bed's not made. And the house is a little bit dirty and it smells. You just got to clean up a little, take the bins out. Oh, but I had a girl coming over tonight. Well, these are the problems. You haven't got your mum to go, okay, I'll bail you out. Oh, you're £200 short? Find a way. Make some money. Go and do some extra shifts. Like that sort of shit for a man is healthy. Without having that, you're never going to evolve. And for a lot of you guys, you're too young to move out. You're too young to cut that umbilical cord, if you would, and get away. But there's a lot of guys in this generation that, and they're to blame. Let's not make this all about women. They're very much to blame. They like the comfort of mum's titties being very close by, if you get the pun there, if you get the metaphor. And they like that idea of comfort. They don't want to go out into the world on their own. However, the concept of the devouring mother is so key to the world of men's lifestyle and growing up as a man. There's so many mothers out there. I've seen this. And It explains a lot as to why I'm the way I am as well. As my mum was always, do it yourself, don't complain. You know, well, you're accountable here. I'm not being funny, but you fucked up. You got to deal with it. You know, get up, get on with it. Well, you know, crying isn't going to solve anything. When I was young, she used to say that. A lot of mums, they'll be like, at school, for example, their son hit a teacher. And the mum will come in and be like, well, maybe it was your fault. Maybe it just, he's never wrong. He can never be wrong. Then it will be, oh, he can't get a job yet. He suffers from anxiety. My mum would be like, what the fuck are you talking about, anxiety? Get out that door now. Go and earn some money. She would have smacked me around the back of the head. That stuff helps. But the devouring mother, Jordan Peterson described it as, you know, your mum's doing it because she loves you. Let's not do this as a negative and say mothers are bad, okay? But mums love the idea of having a little boy. It's their little boy. You know, many a mum will get jealous when a guy says, I'm meeting a girl this weekend. Okay, well, who is she? Who is this girl? Who is this that's taking you from me? You'll see that. A lot of you guys will know that. You might have seen that happen to your friends, yourself. I don't know who. But there is a devouring mother syndrome where they'll try and hold you back, keep you down, do everything for you. Let me do that for you. Let me take care of you. You know, like you pop back to your mum's house now. She goes and gets you a dinner, takes care of you, goes over the top and beyond to make sure you're okay. It's lovely. I love it. It's beautiful, but it's not good for you. It's good to you, but it's not necessarily good for you. Once in a while, it's fine. It's your mum looking after you, being nice to you. But there's some guys that are living with that on a daily basis. Mum, where's my socks? No, it's unacceptable. Now, my mum would have said, I don't know where your fucking socks are. Go and find them yourself. Why should I know? You should be washing them yourself. You know? But there's some mums that will be like, oh, I washed them for you and I put them on the radiator. They'll be dry. Oh, I'm sorry. They'll be a little bit late. I forgot. Oh, mum, for fuck's sake. You can't be in that scenario. It's going to drag you down in life. You know, oh, mum, it's raining. I need to go. I'll give you a lift. It's fine. You can't be in that scenario. But a lot of mums want to do that because they want to baby you. They want to look after you. They remember you being that little boy that needed them. And as soon as you're old enough to not need them, they want you to continue needing them. So they're very reluctant to let you go. How many mums cry when their son goes off to university? Where the dad's like, thank fuck for that. Got the house to myself. Do you know what I mean? We can get back to normal business now. It's different. Okay, so some of you out there, I'm not saying your mum's the enemy. I'm not saying your mum's the Matrix, right? And all this shit. Your mum is beautiful. She's wonderful. She looks after you. She did everything she could to put you in the scenario that you're in now, okay? She raised you. She gave birth to you. You're lucky to even be alive because of her. But you have to watch out that she's not doing too much. You have to watch out that you're not a victim of the devouring mother syndrome. And you should watch Jordan Peterson's take because obviously he goes deeper into psychology than I would. But I always describe stuff in a very basic men's lifestyle format that a lot of people can understand. But it just resonated with me. It clicked. There's so many guys out there that are suffering from this syndrome where their mum is happy to keep them as a little boy. I don't want you to grow up. I don't want you to go and find another woman. There's elements of that. If you watch the Elvis film, that happened in that film at the start and he broke away, but she was doing that to him. It was almost like she was in a fucking relationship with him without the intercourse or anything like that. But it was very strange. And a lot of mums love their sons, you know, and they're devastated when they go off they find another woman. Oh, you don't need me anymore. Like, we've all heard, you know, people have heard stuff like that. You don't need me anymore. It might be as a joke, but you've heard it. You've got to be careful. You've got to get away. You know, I know it's nice at home. I know it's nice with all your washing done. I know it's nice with all the cooking done and everything's clean and you get home from work and there's a meal on the table. It's nice, but you got to break away because you won't evolve as a man. Now, if you're waiting a little bit to save money, fine, but go and do stuff yourself. You know, don't be in the house and don't do the washing up. You know, go and do the washing up for yourself. Have your own stuff. Buy your own food. Try and have some level of independence because if you let the mothering figure take over your life as if you're a 4-year-old boy, you will never evolve. And it's something that, you know, it's fine with your mum. Your mum sees it as, oh, he's such a good boy, I love him, he's great. When you're trying to attract women, sleep with women, those like mummy's boy traits, they fucking hate them. They don't want a guy who, I live at home with mum. You know, you could be a certain age or it doesn't matter, right? But I live at home with mum. She does all my washing. She does all my laundry. Mum, where's my... They hate all that shit. And then it also comes across as you're very needy. You're very emotional because you've not been through a lot of shit. And when you do, somebody's there to bail you out. Oh, I'll take care of that for you. Let me do that for you. Oh, it's something from school. Yeah, I'll do it for you. Don't worry. Like, you don't need that. You don't need her ringing up the school and being like, well, maybe he's not happy in the school. That's why he's skiving off. That's not, you need to take some self-accountability and be like, that's me. I'm a problem. I am a problem. Mum, stop. I know I love you. I know you love me. You're trying to bail me out. I got to take self-accountability for this one. I got to become a man. And that devouring mother thing, it will keep you comfortable for a long, long time. And there's a lot of you guys out there that have got to watch out. You've really got to watch out. Okay, guys, so if you think, why does everything look different? It is different. It's a different day. I just thought of a new point that I wanted to add, so I put on the same shirt so it would all look somewhat congruent. But there's one thing that I wanted to add to this video whilst I was editing it. And I've noticed it recently in my life where back in the day when my dad was alive and when I was younger, I would consult my mum a lot more and my dad a lot more regarding things that went wrong in my life. So as soon as there was a problem, I would text one of them or be on the phone to one of them. And look, eventually I would sort it, but I would be on the phone, I'd have a chat with them and I'd be like, what do you think I should do? And I found this quality, negative quality within myself for years, probably all the way up to like 28 years old, maybe even 29 years old. It's a recent thing that I've overcome and I think it's good to talk about. You know, something would go wrong and I'd have a chat with anybody. Even when my dad died, I was like, I'm going to tell one of my friends. I'm going to have a chat with one of my friends. I'm just going to call them up just so I can kind of vent what's going on and just get that problem out there. Or I would have a chat with my sister about different things and then bring it up and be like, what do you reckon I should do? And, you know, and it just, I've messed up relationships in the past where I've done that, where I've just choked the person to death with like, what should I do in business? What should I do? Like, this is a problem. We got to fix this. I'm worried about this. I can't. And as I've gotten older, and I think this is the devouring mother thing where my mum wasn't this, but just getting away. Obviously, my dad died. I had to grow up, but kind of being away from parents completely. Do you know what I mean? I had that when I was in Toronto and London where I grew up a lot. But then when I moved back to kind of my hometown to look after my dad's, you develop somewhat of those traits again. But then getting away furthermore and, you know, dad dying and me being like, okay, I'm the man of the family now. I really developed something new where like something goes wrong. I'm stressed, I'm annoyed, I'm pissed off about something. It's a major problem and I'll tell nobody about it. And I'll just fix it in silence. So that when I see people, they're like, hey, life good? Yeah, it's all great. Everything's going well. Business going well. Yeah, fantastic. I don't even bring it up anymore. And it's a trait that I'm very proud of, that I don't bring my work life into my normal life. I don't try and bring other people into it. I'm not like, oh, I've just got this problem at the moment, Mum. Can you? And I think that's a great quality because then that doesn't overlap into your, let's say you've got a girlfriend or a wife or whatnot. You're not overlapping that into your, you know, your normal day-to-day life or carrying that burden and lumping it onto friends and whatever. Like, you just deal with it as a man. And I remembered that while I was editing the video and I just wanted to add that in for you guys because I think it's so important to have that quality, to be able to be going through a bit of shit at home or with the business or with work and whatever, to keep it to yourself, to deal with it like a man instead of something's gone wrong, let me get on the phone to my dad and to be like, what would you do? What do you reckon we should do? How do we fix this? You know, to have that ability to be like, okay, this has gone wrong. I'm going to deal with it myself. Nobody's going to have to know about this, and I'm going to come out the other side knowing that I can do all this shit myself. It's a very recent quality of mine that I've gained, and I didn't used to have it. And I definitely think, even though my mum wasn't the devouring mother type, I definitely think that comes from just being younger. And your initial instinct is, who can help me? Who can I reach out to? Who, yeah, like, look, let's say your house floods, you're going to call a plumber. Okay, if you've got a plumber friend, you're going to call them. Electrician, like, of course you are, right? But if it's day-to-day problems that you can sort, just keep that shit to yourself. Just go and solve it. Just go and deal with it in your own time. Don't let it overlap into other areas of life. Don't instantly seek out help. Who can do this for me? Who can help? Just go and deal with it yourself. You'll feel way better and you'll develop as a man once you've crossed that bridge.